Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Aces High here, and today I'm bringing you guys something a little different. It's not history, but I love maps. There's something about maps, there's something about geography. I just dig it. So, what I decided to bring you guys is another video by the Infographics Show. First off, they're a great channel on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked them out, go check them out. They really are awesome, have some great content. But this one is actually called Insane and Strange Things that you can find on Google Maps. So it's just a short list. It's about 10 minutes long of just some crazy things that you can find on Google Maps. I'm excited to see this. I think some of them are going to be creepy. Some might just be like crop circles. Who knows? You know, things that people set up. Either way, I'm really excited to get this going and to check it out. As always, if you guys like the video, like the content, leave me a comment with any questions or suggestions on videos coming up, and smack that like button to help me out. It really does help the YouTube algorithms. And if you're new around here, go ahead and hit that sub button. Stick around. I do come out with new content every day. Sometimes I even do 2 a day. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started.
Imagine this. You have an upcoming vacation to a tropical paradise, and in your excitement, you can't resist checking out the best beaches on Google Maps. The swanky hotels, the smooth white sands, the crystal clear waters. It's beautiful. Oh, wait, what's that?
I remember those days pre-COVID when I can actually go somewhere nice. It was pretty dope.
You zoomed in to get a better view of the water, but now you can see the outline of what looks like pyramids underwater. But that can't be right. How could anyone build a pyramid underwater? Unless they were built so long ago that they'd since been submerged. Google Maps and Google Earth are essential tools for travelers or anyone who ever needed to go anywhere, but occasionally people have found more than they were bargaining for. Let's take a look at the strangest things found on Google Maps, ranging from the mildly funny to the downright terrifying. What would you do if you had an annoying neighbor? You know, the type who has karaoke nights on weekdays, mows their lawn at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, or uses your garbage can once they run out of space. To get your revenge, you might be tempted to show your passive-aggressive side. Maybe you could give them a taste of their own medicine or send a strongly worded letter through their mailbox. How about mowing the phrase "a-hole" into their backyard with an arrow pointing toward their house? That's a level of pettiness most people will never reach, but someone did, and the proof is right there on Google Maps. Zooming out, you can clearly make out the insult plowed into the farmland nearby. Let's hope that they were actually great friends and this was all just an in-joke. This isn't the weirdest thing engraved into land and found on Google Maps either. You'd be forgiven for thinking that in deepest, darkest Chile, you'd find a safe haven away from the modern world and multinational corporations. But you'd be wrong. Engraved up on a mountain near Arica City in Chile is the largest Coca-Cola logo in the world. It certainly makes a strange sight on Google for anyone planning a hiking trip, so you might be wondering, why? Coca-Cola constructed the logo to celebrate Coca-Cola's 100th anniversary back in 1986, and it's made out of 70,000 empty soda bottles. It's so beautiful, it's almost poetic. Seeing a corporate logo in the middle of nowhere is strange, but it's not quite insane. Spotting a giant crab in shallow...
Before we move on to the next one, if any of you guys know why they chose Chile as the country for this giant logo, why not somewhere else? Why there? That's interesting. Let me know if you guys know the answer to that.
Shallow waters by the seaside, however, that's a whole other story. Locals spotted the monster dubbed Crabzilla in the Google Maps footage of Whitstable, England. The monstrous creature appears to be around 50 foot long and lurking in the shallow waters near the pier. At first they assumed the crustacean was simply a piece of driftwood or a strangely shaped sandbank, but others aren't so sure.
Wow.
One man claimed to have seen Crabzilla in person from the corner of his eye when he went crabbing with his son in the area, but brushed the sighting off as a trick of the light at the time. You might laugh it off, but if I ever visit Whitstable, I'll give jumping in the water a miss. This crab isn't the only supersized animal spotted from Google Maps. In northern Italy, a large pink bunny can be seen splayed across the field with its eyes wide and its mouth open in horror. This time, nobody is claiming it's an actual rabbit. Firstly, it's pink, and secondly, the long, thin legs gives it little resemblance to a real bunny. But a little bit of research reveals the creature is nothing more than an installation knitted as part of an art collective. You can even climb over the rabbit and step on it if you're some kind of sadist, but despite the innocent intentions, it still looks extremely creepy when seen from Google Maps. But it's not quite as creepy as a figure spotted in a balcony in Nancy, a French city, from Google Maps Street View. You can just...
I'm not a religious person, but that might be a devil. Like straight up, that's a demon. Look at that thing. Jesus, that's ugly.
About make out a super skinny body with a messy mane of hair,
Wow.
large white eyes, and a demonic look. Sure, it might just be a weird statue, but why would anyone put a scary statue on their balcony? I wouldn't want to walk past that block at night. Even worse, Google ended up blurring the figure out, leading many to believe it's something even more sinister than originally believed. And if that's still not scary enough to give you the chills, try this one. Spray painted on the rooftop of a building in Memphis, you can clearly see the following written in huge black letters: "Come downtown and play." Nobody from the ground would be able to spot this invitation, but when using Google Maps, it's clear as the light of day. I'm not sure who the message is meant for, but I think I'll be politely declining. This isn't the only mysterious message Google has unwittingly disclosed. In the middle of the Gobi Desert, close to China's space program, you can make out a strange pattern in the desert. The collection of reflective rectangles are visible even from space, and I don't think it was made for decorative purposes. The pattern changes slightly across the images taken at different points in time. At one point, there were circles with jets parked at their center. Another time, there were orange blocks arranged in a circle, and once those blocks were scattered far and wide. There might be a totally innocent explanation like testing equipment, but others have suggested something more threatening. Some have suggested that the structures are codes the Chinese read from space to practice targets modeled on US cities. And if that wasn't crazy enough, others have suggested that pattern was put there to attract extraterrestrial creatures. Again, totally believable. But no discussion about secret messages could be complete without throwing Scientology into it. It's just about the most mysterious group out there, unless there's a group.
Tom Cruise, my boy, the original stunt guy. He's Mr. Scientology. Goddamn Scientology.
So secretive that we don't even know about them yet, and some odd things have been spotted outside a Scientology-owned property in Trementina, New Mexico. In the grounds surrounding the property, Google Maps showed two overlapping circles with diamond shapes in the center. It's a pretty impressive and immaculate sight, and its creators obviously put a lot of effort into making it, but what it's meant for is anyone's guess. Some have suggested that it could be a marker for hidden bunkers. If that's true, well, the masterminds at the head of Scientology didn't clearly think through their top-secret plan very well. And to finish off this saga of strange symbols, in an isolated area of Kazakhstan, you can see a huge pentagram. It's estimated to have a diameter of around 1,200 feet wide, and it looks
That's cool. I wonder who actually did that.
immaculately shaped from Google Maps. Authorities have explained it away as the outline of a park. But do you really believe it's just one huge coincidence? Aerial shots can be strange, but there's something even creepier about seeing weird things on Google Street View. In a Japanese village called Nagoro, there are around 20 residents, but there are many, many dolls. At first, the idea of a quaint village with lots of dolls sounds kinda cute. But on Google Maps, it's far more horror movie than adorable village. Around every corner, you can see figures with blank white faces slumped around buildings. And hearing the explanation behind the phenomenon makes it even eerier. After the majority of the village's population moved elsewhere for work, one woman decided to make dolls in the likeness of each former resident. I'm not sure why she didn't just do a nice painting instead of making mannequins that look like they could be used for some kind.
That is really creepy, actually. Wow. That can't be true. Is that true? Have you guys heard of that? Let me know down in the comments. That can't be true. There's no way. Wow.
Of black magic ritual, but at least she had good intentions. This isn't the only strange sighting in Japan. As the Google truck was heading through a different town in the Asian country, it pictured a group of guys walking along a path wearing jeans, shirts, and giant pigeon masks. Yeah, you heard me right. Pigeons might not sound that scary, but seeing a group of people walking along with giant pigeon masks is strangely ominous. They also turned to keep watching the camera as it went by, and this time there's no explanation. That's not it with the scary masks, there's more. By one desert road, the Google truck picked up 4 figures standing wearing weird masks looking directly into the camera lens. One has the mask of a hairy beast, 2 have ghoulish white masks with their hoods up, and another has a strange red mask with a black bowler hat over it. Even if they just decided to act extra creepy to scare people on Google Maps, it still raises a lot of questions about what they were doing in the first place. Who walks around in a scary fancy dress costume in broad daylight? Alright, a word of warning now. Things are about to get dark. These next Google Maps sightings are not for the faint-hearted. Have you ever seen a red lake? Well, I hope not, because there's no natural reason why a body of water would be red, but that's exactly what Google Earth shows in a city.
Well, what about if it has a extremely high iron concentration? or maybe if like some rust had leaked into it. I mean, I don't know. I could see there being a lot of reasons why a body of water would be red.
City outside
That being said, it does kind of look like blood, though.
of Baghdad, a bright red lake. And no, it isn't because of some weird trick of the light or a glitch in the system. It's red for exactly the reason you first expected. It's full of blood.
Oh.
No, a serial murderer didn't throw his victims into the lake, but the blood is believed to be runoff from a slaughterhouse nearby. Actually, I'm not sure that's any better. But an actual human murder victim has also been found on Google Maps. In California, a 14-year-old boy was murdered and left by the road. Google Maps showed the crime scene as police cars and detectives started to gather ready to take the body away. But don't go looking for it because, as you might expect, the family of the boy asked Google to remove the footage. Another eerie sight is a huge shipwreck from an island near India that you can see from your computer screen. A huge ferry sank close to the shore in 2003, but nobody has been able to retrieve the ship or the bodies due to the dangerous tribes on the island who have been known to murder fishermen in the past. It's pretty.
One interesting thing about this is when I was in Liberia, West Africa, serving with the Peace Corps, we, myself and some other Peace Corps volunteers, we actually took a trip to Robertsport, a old surfing town. It's kind of been abandoned since their civil wars and everything, to hang out on the beach and enjoy Christmas. Well, we took a hike and we actually found a shipping container that had been crashed onto the beach, half in the water, half not in the water, and rusted away. And we asked the people in town what happened, and they said, oh, the boat just showed up one day. All the lifeboats are gone, and it's been there for like 8 years. Nobody's come looking for it or anything. It's incredibly strange. But when you Google it, I can't remember the name of it, but when you Google it, it was last checked in at the Panama Canal. So it crossed the entire Atlantic Ocean and then crashed into Liberia. Like, how interesting is that? It's very similar to that, I'd imagine. Except for, the cannibals.
Pretty chilling to see the outline of a ship so clearly through the pristine water. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, it's now time to start talking about the supernatural and the conspiracy theories. In South Sudan, eagle-eyed Google Maps users found a perfectly circular lake amid the thick jungles of the area. It seems incredible that a lake could have such a perfectly smooth circular shape, yet we know it's not man-made. The lake even has a floating layer of foliage. Flat earthers have latched onto this as proof that the Earth is a perfect circle, and this lake in Sudan is the world's plug hole. I've been thinking about this a while, and I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but moving on. Another phenomenon spotted in Sudan is what looks like the formation of human lips in the desert. It's strange for two reasons. The lips are a redder color of sand than the rest of the desert, and their outline is made up of what looks like black dots. In reality, it's probably just a hill formation, but it sure looks strange from up above.
I wonder if that hill formation was just formed from some type of volcanic activity back in the day, and it raised up a different type of rocks to the surface, different color. Something like that, I'd imagine. Those black dots are, they're definitely trees of some sort, because you could see them all over.
Naturally, it sparked some more alien theories, with some conspiracy theorists believing the lips are a vessel for extraterrestrial objects. This isn't the only secret that Google Maps may have uncovered. At one point, Google Maps displayed an island called Sandy Island near New Caledonia in the Pacific Ocean. There was just one problem. Sandy Island doesn't actually exist. Its supposed location is all ocean with no land. The island was first mentioned by a whaling ship and was recorded on maps from as early as 1876, but since then, its inclusion on major maps has been inconsistent. After appearing in Google Maps, it was quickly removed. But the mysterious nature of Sandy Island has made many people conjure up strange theories. Some believe it's a magical island that only shows itself to the chosen ones. Remember those underwater pyramids mentioned at the start of the video?
Yeah.
They were spotted by a Google Maps user in an ocean by the Bahamas. Once again, many people assumed they proved the existence of aliens, Atlantis, or even crazier things. If you're versed in Conspiracy Theories 101, you'll know that the reason ancient civilizations like the Egyptians were able to build impressive structures like the pyramids in the first place was because aliens taught them how.
So as far as like the buried pyramids, it's probably having something to do with like the city of Alexandria in Egypt. I mean, a lot of it's underwater now. It's just the sea took it back, easy as that.
structures to have been built so long ago that they've now been submerged underwater, it seems the alien theory must be true, right? If you want a more reasonable explanation, try this one. The pyramids are actually part of the lost city of Atlantis. I mean, no one has proved it isn't true yet. And finally, the most insane thing of all. On Google Maps Mars, some users found what looks like a secret base. In the midst of many red deserts covering the planet, you can see a selection of what looks like solar panels and white buildings.
Whoa.
What could they be? A secret station?
I like this Elon Musk secret second home. What do you guys think of this? I mean, I gotta do research. That's interesting. I could see the government is hiding that they have it there. The question is, if they're really hiding and if it's really true that there's like a base here, why are they allowing Google Maps to show it? Which that just asks a lot of other questions, you know. I don't know.
Of Martians? Elon Musk's secret second home? Nope, the answer is even crazier. A Google data center on Mars, and they've been keeping it a secret all this time. Unfortunately, this supposed base turned out to be an April Fool's joke. In fact, some eagle-eyed Googlers figured out the pictures were actually taken from the movie Martian. So don't believe everything you see on Google Maps, or at least everything a conspiracy theorist tells you. But some of these mysteries would raise the eyebrows of even the most hardline skeptic. To see more crazy geographical discoveries, check out our video.
Ooh, the lost continent. I might have to check that out next. Anyway, you guys, let's talk about this. So what'd you think? Insane and strange things on Google Maps. I love Google Maps. I'm always looking around about it. I really like that one where the guy called his neighbor an a-hole. That was pretty funny. And then, yeah, the sunken city, I can only imagine had something to do with the sea eroding away at a city that was on the edge over a long period of time, or something like that happened. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but it had to be something similar to like Alexandria in Egypt. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Think these are insane and strange enough for you? By the way, I 100% fell for that trick on Mars. Let me know if you guys did down in the comments, or if you immediately believed it wasn't true. Anyway, till next time, I love you guys. This is Aces High, and I'm out.